Hi there, warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive with me, Meghna Deka. Well, today we are going to ask you a very simple question. This is the question on your screens. Should non-locals learn the local language? Well, they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Should non-locals learn the local language is the next question. Viewers, after all, they say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Why? So that when your work sends you to another city, should you be learning the local language of that city? And if you don't, should it be considered disrespectful to the local cultures if you don't learn? Well, that's going to be our focus in this show. We are raising this issue because the Zoho CEO, Sridhar Vembu, he's ignited a debate on social media. His post has now gone viral. What has he said? Well, you have that on your screens. He has said, if you make Bengaluru your home, you should learn Kannada. Simple enough. He goes on to say, your kids should also learn Kannada, and not learning Kannada is actually, according to him, after spending years in Bengaluru, disrespectful. Not just that, he's also said that he often requests his employees in Chennai as well, that our employees in Chennai, I request them to learn Tamil. He said this, it sparked off a massive war. So we are asking you this evening, should non-locals learn the local language? In fact, let's show you how netizens have responded. Those supporting it essentially are saying that there is no harm in learning it. We'll take you through some quick reactions which have been coming in from the netizens. For example, many are saying it is useful in many of the ways. Learning the local language is very useful, should at least make an attempt at it. Then there are other voices also which are coming in, such as this Twitterati subscriber who has said, talking to people in Kannada or Hindi or basic German has always helped me become close to the native speakers, that it shouldn't be mandatory, but it is smart to essentially learn the local language. It helps you maneuver around better. In fact, there are those who are saying finding extra time is very challenging. There is, for example, this Twitter user who had said, I completely understand your sentiment, but there is always a list of things for learn. To me, a couple of tech certificates which are still pending, a course of Sanskrit Vedic is also pending. In the midst of it all, where do I find the time to learn more things such as the local language? Then there are those who are completely against it. They say that it is divisive to say that the locals must learn the local language. After all, you have mother tongues, you have national languages as well, and it should not be forced upon anyone. These are some of the voices coming in. Like this user has said, this may open a Pandora's box. The nation allows me to choose my language. There is nothing disrespectful in not knowing any specific language. Why should I learn every language, this user says. Another one has said that it's a personal choice. No one should be made to learn any language, any particular type of food, or be forced to wear any particular type of movie as well, or watch anything. So it's all down to a personal choice. These are different reactions which have been coming in. As you can clearly see that Twitter is completely divided over it. There's another user who says it's a personal choice. No one should be made to learn a specific type of language. In fact, call us and share with us what your thoughts are. Should it be forced upon people, or should it be open to choice? We are asking you, the viewers, to connect with us directly on the numbers which are flashing at the bottom of your screen. Simply pick up your phone and give us a call. Till then, let me go across to our panelists. Today joining us on the show is Harish Bijur, a brand ambassador. We'll also be joined by Abhishek Banerjee, who's a columnist as well as an author. Now, Harish Bijur, I'm going to come to you because we've seen so much chatter over this issue now that anyone who is living in a certain city should learn the local language. Should there? Is it important for that individual as an employee, as the brand as well, for the company?
Well, I'm totally with Sridhar Vembu. When he's
Well, unfortunately, Harish Bijur, it seems that there's a bit of a problem there. Till then, let me go across to some of our callers to try and take in a few calls so that we can come back to you when we fix that audio connection. Let me go across to Abhishek Banerjee as well, a columnist who's there with our show. Abhishek, where do you stand on this? Abhishek, are you there with us?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it does seem that there's a huge language divide here. Unfortunately, it seems to be a tech divide, which is hitting this show very badly. Well, we'll try and get that fixed. Till then, we'll ask you, the viewers, to connect with us. Tell us, what do you think? Harish Bijur, it seems, has completely agreed with the Zoho CEO. He says, if you're there in any specific city, learn the regional language there. It's going to help you adjust much better. So what are the fors? What are the against? Let's take you through. For, there are those who say that you must respect the local language. There are others who are against it, saying that it's very divisive to ask anyone to adjust and change their likes and dislikes and even be forced to pick up another language. Then there are others who are saying that it's much more useful in many ways. If you're living in a certain city, you can interact much better, for example, with the people who are staying there, people who are conversing in the mother tongue there. There are those who are saying it is an additional burden. We already have work at home, we have work in offices, then to learn another language, who's got that much time? Then those who are in for this are saying that this is the best possible guidance which has been given by Sridhar Vembu, that if you're there, learn the local language, then you'll blend in much better, you'll find it much easier. So let me go across to one of our viewers. Dr. Bharti is joining us from Bengaluru, one of our viewers. Go ahead, Dr. Bharti. What do you think? Bengaluru, of course, is one of the cities which has always been in the flashpoint of the language debate.
Yeah, I just wanted to voice my opinion. To be in harmony, we all have to be in the same path and on the same page of the book. When we are in Rome, be like a Roman is what the quote says. So when we are in Karnataka or in any of the states, I mean, we need to learn that language. That's what I feel.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Vasant Kumar, one of our viewers is calling us from Bengaluru again. Go ahead, Vasant. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I would like to say that I want to encourage local language. Suppose you are in Bangalore, nothing wrong in learning Kannada. Is okay. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Well, there seems to be a bad network day today. Unfortunately, it appears that our phone lines are having a lot of problems. Well, we'll try and get that fixed. Keep your phone calls coming so that we can hear from you as well. I believe one of our viewers, Girish, is also calling us. This one again coming in from Bengaluru. Go ahead, Girish.
Yeah, the outsiders should learn Kannada. So it will give a mixture. See, if you say a lot of things, we are one Indians. What is the harm in learning the local language? I'm a Kannadiga. I have not resided anywhere outside Karnataka. I can speak better Hindi. Then why the Hindi people coming here should not learn Kannada?
Oh, that's an interesting point. Yes. People who are there in Karnataka, he says, are also learning Hindi. Then why not? After all, this is one India, isn't it? Let me go across to Meenakshi, one of our viewers who's calling us from Bengaluru. Go ahead, Meenakshi.
Good evening. This is not a very sudden debate as such. You know, historically, all over India, people were learning a minimum of 5 languages. I mean, how did they operate before independence, in the Vedic times, after the Vedic times, in the Mughal times, in all the other times? So learning a language is a very interesting activity if we want to thrive, and that is how Indians have thrived all over India. If you come to Karnataka, you will find Marwadis, the second generation and the third generation, speaking better Tamil and Kannada than the locals. If you go to Tamil Nadu, you will find Punjabis, even in Karnataka, you will find Punjabis, Marwadis, and in Tamil Nadu, you will find them speaking Tamil so fluently, as is the case in Maharashtra, they speak Marathi, as is the case in Telangana and Andhra, they speak Telugu beautifully. So it is a non-issue actually. I mean, the individual has to decide, I want to thrive here. So anyway, I will learn the local language. Without learning the local language, one doesn't thrive. And history is a proof for that. And Shankaracharya traveled all over India. How did he do it?
Well, that's a very relevant point. Thank you so much for joining us. In fact, it's a very interesting viewpoint that you have put out, Meenakshi, that after all, Indians are known for striving hard. And let's not forget, for example, when you have Indians who are going to US, they speak English there. Those who are going to Germany, they'll be speaking German, isn't it? And those in France will be speaking French as well. So Indians are known to adapt. In fact, let me go across to Harish Bijur. Several of our other viewers are also calling it. I have a long list of viewers who are there. But before that, Harish Bijur, I believe, is joining us on the phone line now. As a brand guru, Harish Bijur, where do you stand?
Okay. See, firstly, I am in full appreciation. And I'm in full tune with Sridhar Vembu. When Sridhar says that, hey, listen, if you live in Karnataka, it's a good thing to learn Kannada. Maybe I don't agree with the fact that, he says 6 months and more you learn Kannada. But I would say that if you have decided to embrace Bengaluru, if you have decided to stay in Karnataka, then it's a great thing to embrace the language of the state as well. You have decided to embrace the work in Karnataka. You have decided to embrace the food of Karnataka. You have decided to embrace the living facilities of Karnataka, the infrastructure of Karnataka. Might as well adapt and embrace the language of Karnataka, which is Kannada, provided you're going to be here for a while. So the idea simply is if you can learn Phantom and if you can learn C++, Kannada is not all that too difficult than Phantom.
Harish Bijul, what do you say? Because there are those who are critical about this. They are saying that, let's say it's some IT person, the tech guys who may be settled in Hyderabad. They stay there for 2 years. Then they shift to Bengaluru, as many of them do. They stay there for 3 years. And then they finally go to Maharashtra, where they'll use neither of the regional languages. Should they be learning Kannada? Should they be, if they are in Chennai, for example, learning Tamil, and then go to Maharashtra, where they'll not be using any of them? That's what one of the users are saying. Why keep learning languages when they are not going to be using it? Because they don't know how long the stint will be.
There is a book called The Argumentative Indian. The Indian is very argumentative, and good arguments, bad arguments. Let me put it this way: that hey, listen, guys, if you spent 3 years in Hyderabad, good to learn Telugu, maybe a wee bit of Urdu as well. Maybe when you come to Bengaluru, learn Kannada. Because just imagine the kind of life-enriching experience you're going to have when you know so many languages. Multilinguality is a great thing. It enhances the brain power. It enhances your social power in society. See, for instance, when I'm on the street, one of the happiest sights that I see is a non-Kannadiga attempting to speak Kannada. I've seen Sardars from North India who come down here speaking and trying to speak and fumble their way to Kannada. So I love that. The happiest sight you can see in Bengaluru is a non-Kannadiga, a German lady trying to speak Kannada and doing it quite well. Fumbling their way, no problem. Kannada Gottilla is possibly one of the worst phrases a non-Kannadiga can use. Because, I think it's a good thing to say that I am trying.
Yes, I'm trying. I may get it wrong, but I'm trying.
Yeah, people will be with you all the while.
Yeah.
So just don't hesitate, guys. Become a part of the social fabric. Become a part of the local culture. Become a part of the local quilt. Because we live in a quilted society in India. And I think we love India because it's unity in diversity.
Absolutely. We are also the argumentative Indians, so we do like to put forth our points. But as Harish Bijur says, embrace our cultures, embrace our languages. Many of them go back to millions of years as one of the oldest civilizations. So why not? Thank you so much, Harish Bijur, for joining us. Several of our callers are calling in. Let me go across to Vijay, one of our viewers who's calling us from Kochi. Go ahead, Vijay.
Hello, myself, David Vijay.
Yes, David Vijay, go ahead.
Because nowadays I fail to understand why this language has become a bone of contention in so many states. In my youthhood, now I am an aged person. I have come to Bombay without any knowledge of Hindi or Marathi, and successfully I was working in the sales field. That salesman should be having communication skills. But language is never a barrier. I have been successfully doing my job. From there I have become an area manager. I have worked in Hyderabad. And then, of course, I am from Kerala. At least people should learn from our Kerala population, because we are the highest literate. I am not being proud of that. We have got so many drawbacks. But we want to mitigate or migrate to anywhere and do some other jobs, because we have got the least opportunities in this 30,000 square feet of Kerala. So what happened? Hindi, we had the organization called Hindi Prajar Sabha.
Right.
Once they were propagating Hindi here. And Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prajar Sabha.
Right.
So that has been well accepted in Kerala. But in Tamil Nadu, what happened?
That's a very interesting point that you have made. That regional pride is one thing. Of course, it should cut both ways as well. There are several of our other viewers who are also calling us. There's Arvind, there's Deepika, there's Udayan and Siddheshwar, Nagendra. We'll be going across to all of them. But let me quickly go across to Abhishek Banerjee. He's a columnist. He's joining us. And Abhishek, I believe you're Bengali. You've lived in Bengaluru. You faced this firsthand. What's your experience been like?
So first thing I would say that I love learning languages. When I used to work parts of Europe, I ended up a little bit of French, I ended up up a little of German, and it really helped my life. So when I moved to Bangalore, I can describe my personal experience. I was really excited. Now I'm going to learn a new language, Kannada. And what really happened to me is that while I did manage to discuss about the spoken language, it became difficult for me to expand my vocabulary because I couldn't read the script.
Okay. Yeah.
Which was not the case when I was trying to learn, say, French or German. So this is one of the struggles that I faced myself. But on the issue as a whole, I would say that something in which we need to be understanding on, because there are dangers both. On one hand, start making language too big of an issue, then we may start pushing people away from a global city like Bangalore. But on the other hand, there are other big dangers as well. If we forget all about the local languages and the local cultures, we might end up creating a class of rootless cosmopolitans. And that, if you ask me, is the real problem with the liberal elite today, that they are rootless cosmopolitans. So a city like Bangalore particularly, or Mumbai, has to watch out for not becoming part of the rootless cosmopolitan global elite.
Okay.
That's also a big problem. So we just need to make best effort on both sides. Just make sure that, treat everyone with kindness, consideration, because every person's journey is different.
Absolutely. Every person's journey is different. Abhishek, you've put it very well. Be kind to people. Whether they put in the effort, whether they are not, they are just struggling like every one of us to make a living, perhaps in a different city. Abhishek, do stay on with us. Let's get in a few more of our viewers. We have Arvind, our viewer, calling us from Bengaluru. Go ahead, Arvind.
Hello.
Hi, Arvind. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Arvind. It is ridiculous that we are not speaking about the visitors to learn local language, right? It is only the person who is thriving, who is doing the job in Bengaluru for years together. If they don't learn the local languages, it becomes a mistake. If they think that their language is only high and our other languages is low, no, it is not that. It is not for the visitors. Bengaluru people doesn't insist to speak in Kannada for visitors. It's only the persons who live here, who earn here, and they don't want to speak. For those people, they have to learn, give the respect to the local language. Suppose if I go to Assam and stay there for 5 years.
Okay, point taking. If you're there for 5 years at least, then put in an effort, is what I believe you are saying. Thank you so much for calling us. Let me go across to Deepika, who's calling us from Vadodara. Good to have people from Pan-India calling us. This one coming in from west of India. Go ahead, Deepika. I believe we've lost that audio connection, but we also have Udayan, one of our viewers, who's calling us from Kolkata, from the eastern part of India. What do you think, Udayan?
Hello. Is it me you are asking?
Yes, Udayan. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm from Kolkata. I visited southern India many times. I was in Bengaluru for 3-4 times for my service during my service period, and I believe that whenever you are posted for a substantial time, you should learn that local language for many purposes.
Okay.
To communicate local people, to communicate the literary circle, everyone.
So for better communication, you need to know the local language. Thank you for calling us. Let me go across. So Siddheshwar, who's joining us from Mahalingapura. Go ahead, Siddheshwar.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, it is very useful to learn the language where we are living. I will give some small example. I learned the Tamil in Bengaluru, but where I moved to my job in Coimbatore, it was very useful. Then...
Right. Go ahead, complete your point, please.
Where I used to move to other part of Delhi, otherwise Bombay, anywhere, for my job purpose, I used to speak in Hindi. It was very well.
Okay.
When I was in Pune, I learnt Marathi also. It is good to learn Kannada where we stay.
That's an interesting viewpoint. You are saying that when you went to other places as well, you picked up the local languages there as well. Appreciate you calling in. Let me get in a viewer who's calling us from the north of India. We have Nagendra Singh who's calling us from Mandi. Go ahead, Nagendra.
Good evening, ma'am. I am speaking from हिमाचल प्रदेश. मैडम नागेंद्र सिंह नेगी सरका घाट मंडी से बोल रहा हूँ.
जी
मैडम, इस देश की एक सौभाग्य है कि हमें विभिन्न तरह के फूलों का गुलदस्ता भाषा के रूप में भी मिलता है. लेकिन अगर यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ में भारत का रुतबा जो है हिंदी बढ़ा सकती है, तो क्यों नहीं इस देश की राष्ट्रभाषा हिंदी हो सकती है. हमने इसी हिंदी के माध्यम से पूरे देशों में राज किया है. बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटियों में पढ़ाई जाती है. 250 करोड़ लोग जो है दुनिया भर के हिंदी बोलते हैं और ये दुनिया भर के. लेकिन अफसोस इस बात का है कि क्षेत्रवाद वोट बैंक की राजनीति के चलते लोग हमारे नेताओं की राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति के कारण हिंदी की स्थिति जो है यथावत बनी हुई है. एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय आज आपने उठाया है कि मादरे वतन के जितने घूमंतु जो लोग जो मॉरिशस और त्रिनिदाद और ये फिजी में जो हमारे लोग राज कर रहे हैं उसके वजह हिंदी है. कोस कोस पे बाणी बरसे कोस कोस पे पानी बदले, ये इस देश की एक खूबसूरती है.
जी आपने बहुत अच्छे से बताया. लेट मी क्विकली गो अक्रॉस टू अभिषेक बैनर्जी हु इज स्टिल विद अस. अभिषेक, you just heard that हिंदुस्तान एक फूलों का गुलदस्ता है, but then we, he says, are represented by Hindi even at global platforms such as the UN. Then why not learn it in India?
I'll tell you this. Whatever little Kannada while I was learning, the most beautiful experiences that I had is the realization that our languages don't actually divide us, they actually unite us. So for instance, when I was learning Kannada, I came across the word nimisha in Kannada, which means a small amount of time, like a minute.
Okay.
And I had been aware of this word in Hindi, but I never knew what it actually meant until I started learning Kannada. But then I'll give you the best example possible. The Kannada word Pattana means a city. Now think about which city is called Patna. Patna is all the way in Bihar. But come and look at the Kannada word Pattana, the city. It's only when you start learning Kannada that for the first time in my life I understood what the capital of Bihar means. So think about that. So
I think that's a very interesting point that we are going to be wrapping up this show with, that you don't really understand the beauty of a language till you start dabbling in it. But at the end of it, let language be the unifier, not the divider. I believe we can all agree upon that. Thank you so much to all the viewers that who have called in for our show. Unfortunately, so many of the viewers I couldn't go to. We would have really liked to do that. But thank you so much for watching our show. I'll see you again tomorrow at the same time, 6:30 p.m. right here on Blueprint.